Nothing changes. All I want is a moment to think clearly, but thoughts come unrelenting, consuming every waking moment. My mind binds me and I can't escape. I shout for help, but no one hears me. One day I fear I'll just disappear. Lost in this chaos, I'm searching for peace, but it's hard to find when my thoughts never cease. Everything I do is all consuming. My mind races, leaving me breathless and worn. I try to find solace, but it's fleeting, leaving me with nothing but the echoes of my screams. I shout for help, but no one hears me. One day I fear I'll just disappear. Lost in this chaos, I'm searching for peace, but it's hard to find when my thoughts never cease. Who am I to say I deserve peace? Maybe I'm better off just fading away. It's what I'm used to, this isolation, but deep down I long for connection. I shout for help, but no one hears me. One day I fear I'll just disappear. Lost in this chaos, I'm searching for peace, but it's hard to find when my thoughts never cease.
Halloween!
Oh man, what up everybody? It's John Escudero. I'm here with my boys Nick and Greg. Nick and Greg. And that song you heard while we were gathering viewers is Doubt from the Lord of the Fighter series by my wife, Saskia Creations.
Let's
go.
go.
One word.
Banger.
SASKIACreations. One word.
Part 1 of the double Lord of the Fighter series.
Yes, sir.
Part 2 is really good too.
I am so confused what just happened now. I'm just going like, oh, we got like a new badass track. Is that our new theme song? What's happening?
It is our new theme song. I'm gonna lay it over the video. The audio listeners will have heard it to open the show this week. It's original. It was made with love, like a cookie. For for us.
If I was still wrestling, I would have walked out to it.
I was telling my wife, there's
I want to use that for like a BBG in my D&D campaign. I'm telling you.
Seriously, I was like, you can sell these theme songs like as theme songs. And she's like legit.
Most of the people watching
composing these, producing them, like putting them together in the little studio thing, singing the track herself, editing the voice into a man. It's all. Wait, it's a work.
That's her voice.
That was
seriously. That's her voice.
Wow. See, I did not know that.
Wild.
I have so many questions.
I did too, but I kind of get it now. Mac is here. He's
Yay.
he's here. I didn't know if he could come.
When are we dropping DSRs and music?
He's
Honestly.
around. We were just talking DSR's new music. She has more. There are others. There's a couple. Yeah, there's obviously the other Lord of the Fighter song.
Clearly, obviously, me and Nick need to be on vocals.
Yes, this needs to happen.
It's
gonna be like that WWE album where like they were all like singing their own songs. Like Greg and I have to duet something.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I was like, oh shit, you make
Me
music?
and Nick are gonna do our version of Under Pressure.
You should.
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's gonna happen. Just wait.
But yeah, man, go check that out after go check that out after you check us out. Saskia Creations on YouTube. It'll play again towards the end of the night. Hey,
I was reminded when we were trying to promote it on when we were promoting it on Dynamite. I remember I was feeling like how like Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler would be when they would go through the card of the wrestling show and then talk about who was doing the music for the pay-per-view.
That's exactly what it feels like. Like,
yeah,
it's fucking at Ruthless Aggression era, fucking pay-per-view theme song. I love it. It's one of my favorites that she's made, and you'll hear more as time goes on. And we integrate that song into the video, and then when that's in the video, you'll hear a different song to gather viewers. So,
I heard Rise Up, and that was a real good one. And I think actually that's like the most popular one on her channel currently.
Yeah, it is. People really like that one. It's good. They're all good. She's got a new one, Ro. It's got this Viking-esque feel to it. I was like, I didn't think I was gonna like it when she described it to me. I was like, oh, but you did such good stuff. And then they came out, and I was like, oh shit, that goes hard. But yeah, man, that's what we got going on. We got in-house music now.
Yeah,
most of the Bronx is depressed, but that's okay. It was a hell of a season, and it was good to be back in the World Series for the first time in several years. Obviously, we lost. We beat ourselves. We shouldn't. The way we lost is what I'm more disappointed in. The fact that we lost to like the best team in the MLB, but. We'll see what happens. Boone's not getting fired, I'll tell you that. And from everything I've read, Boone got them to the World Series, and they are sticking with him.
Gregor's speaking Chinese to me. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. No, I know.
Hey, Zeus brought it up in the chat. I was simply responding to our boy.
For historical,
I won't see that in the next like 100 years, so it's okay.
For historical value, the Yankees just lost the World Series in the spectacular
You won
fashion.
sooner than us, Nick. I don't want to hear your shit.
We got 1908, 2016. I don't want to talk about the White Sox.
It was quite the show. Watching all of New York City collectively cope with each other.
Especially not talking about the White Sox this year.
Yeah, you don't even get to talk shit. Your team wasn't there.
Listen, like John got to watch like New York have a weird moment of like a solidarity where for a moment there was just like, yo, let's just get it all New York. Let's get it Mets and Yankees, and then like that kind of fell apart.
I didn't even watch baseball at all, and I knew that wasn't happening.
I can tell you this much, John. The Dodgers are everything you have ever heard about the Yankees when it comes to spending money very frivolously and very well. I know you've heard the Ohtani numbers.
This is just shown in anime. They just MLB wanted to establish the new money team so that the stereotype could pass over to the next one. It's great storytelling.
Sure. You have heard the Ohtani numbers, right?
They're telling the fucking Brock Lesnar John Cena story here.
Oh dear. Yeah, well, I think we're the one who got the fucking 60 German suplexes.
You get one FU in, and it looks like you might, and then 16
and then he
more.
laughs at you. That was cute. You thought you had a chance.
Greg is okay. Jesus is up mad. DC is good. What are you fucking talking about? James Gunn is here. Anyway, there was a lot of stuff going on in the week of professional wrestling. We don't have Nick for very long. He's got to go to work. But
it's gonna be like this for the next several weeks.
what kind of
couple of
juiciness
things.
is going on in pro
We'll probably
wrestling,
be
John?
on. We'll probably start early enough to get you on a little longer next week. Or honestly, next week is going to be a fucking mess.
Is it?
Eat sheet.
Yeah, it is going to be a big mess. It's got NXT in the 2300 arena on Wednesday
yes.
at the same time as AEW Dynamite.
Oh man, how are we doing that one?
Currently starring not only Bubba Ray Dudley, but Rob Van Dam, Little Guido, and Francine.
Yeah, it's EV 2.0, baby.
Rob Van Dam can potentially do something very silly and controversial,
So Rob
Light
Van
up a
Dam.
joint.
appearing on both shows at the same time. Lighten up.
yes, that's right.
He could. So yeah, that's gonna be next week. We'll figure out how we do post show situation there. Like
No shows. Period. It was too much work to
just
to-
none. I just quit. Just shut down Dershi Radio. There's none. People go for results and it doesn't come up.
Just focus on your own channel. That's it.
I'm such a big ass mark that in my head I'm just like, you gotta. I don't know. It's not gonna happen, so I don't want to get myself like interested in it. But in my head, you gotta do the bricks. You own the bricks. You gotta do the bricks.
They should bring the brick entrance wall for the
Even if
ECW
I
arena
Got him
show.
on standby, ready to go.
Yeah, like granted, I know what your set looks like. Even if you just fucking, I'm not gonna give you that. I'm not gonna ask that much of you. If you at least just LED'd the bricks and gave me the idea that you fucking give a shit.
That's
that you're
definitely
thinking
what they're
about
gonna
it.
do at best. You
At
get
best.
the LED bricks.
They're
I would
chain
be
fencing
fine
with
with
it.
that.
But they had a really cool
Doing it
vibe
your
for the
way while
NXT
still doing
show.
it is fine.
They had a cool vibe for the NXT show in St. Louis. The staircase for the entrance ramp and
Oh,
all
for
that shit.
that fucking different Arake set.
Yeah, basically.
NXT needs to really like go the whole distance and just do like the fan cam for it.
Oh yeah, actually get RF to do it for them.
Yeah.
No,
Look
let's
at all
not
the gritty
do
and
that.
smoke filled. Gritty,
No.
smoke filled. New Jack just comes out of nowhere. It'll be great.
There's something about
Oh.
independent wrestling that just
Maybe we'll let
felt
Gabe
special.
book it.
It was special back then. I don't know how much longer that will exist, or honestly, probably hasn't in a long time. I feel like independent wrestling, as we know it, has probably been dead for.
I don't know how much longer Gabe will exist.
Can Gabe Sapolsky really? Damn.
Wait, whoa!
Let's talk about that. I have found the discourse on the ID program to be very interesting. Let's talk about it.
Hey, guess what? We got someone else here to talk about it. It's the Mac-O-Lantern.
Okay. The Mac. Jesus Christ.
I knew that would elicit some sort of response that would want you to bang your head against the wall. So
I saw it. Like, we gotta call
Very
attention
nice.
to it.
Oh my god! I have to chase children away. I will be
Oh
right
my
back.
God.
Yeah, that's perfect when we're talking
Fucking
dub.
Christ.
Dub.
perfect. Talking
All
about
right.
kids in RF video. Good tie-in, guys.
No,
Oh,
stop
no.
bringing it up.
No.
Demonetized.
Well,
Oh,
that's the
no.
end of the stream, folks. We'll see you. Happy Halloween. Greg, I'm thinking about it now. They absolutely do own the whole like brick staging. They have the fence. They got all the lighting rigs and need to attach
Yeah.
to it. They can do whatever they need
Just
to.
do
make it happen.
the ECWs. You can put NXT all over it. I don't care. Just do the set.
Here's what makes me depressed about that. They have all the Halloween Havoc stuff, and they don't use it much. They brought like brand new tombstones. They only just now
Yeah.
dug like the pumpkin from the iconic '98 Halloween Havoc stage out of storage.
Well, they've done the wheel more than once, haven't they?
The wheel, yeah, but they've had their own version of the wheel.
Now let me ask you guys a question. If they come out
Go
next
for it.
week and they have the whole brick wall set up, but above where it used to say ECW, it says NXT, and they got the little stairwell and the lights and the smoke and everything. Are you guys okay with it?
I'm fine with it saying NXT. Just give me the idea that you
Right.
are like we're doing the ECW like thing here. We brought in all the ECW guys. Like, yeah.
But here's the
Make
thing,
it work.
Like multiple people online have said that the 2300 arena was totally renovated like 10 years ago, and it does not look like it used to in the ECW shows or the CZW shows that used to run there as well.
Sure, people make that same argument about Madison Square Garden now. They're still happy to go.
Yeah, I mean, that was the GOAT set for WrestleMania with like the big placard that said what match it was right on the hard cam side. Oh, and that Survivor Series too, where they had them come out through the opening on hard cam.
The
side.
small door.
Yeah, I love that, man. Yeah, the one that Scott Steiner came out and ended Nowitzki's career.
Oh, Jesus!
Oh no, poor Christopher Nowitzki. He's a good guy. He's doing good things.
He is. It's
All the
awesome
worst
to see what
memories.
he's dove into. I don't mean to say dive on there, but yeah, what he has been able to do for a lot of wrestlers and just health in general has been spectacular. I'm looking at pictures of 2300 right now, and it still looks very similar interior-wise.
Yeah, Nick, you were talking earlier about Oh, now there we go.
Yeah, he's
Nick,
back.
You were talking earlier about the WWE doing the intro to like the songs and showing the moving match graphics and stuff. I saw one earlier for 2003 Bad Blood, which was Trapped Headstrong, and I was like, oh god, I want this back so bad.
2003 had the best theme songs.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us, Blake. Blake wants to know if we already discussed Black jobbing to Cole next week. Atrocious. Malachi Black does jobs now? Interesting. If he does do one to Cole next week, how could it be atrocious? I haven't seen him do one in fucking forever.
I thought it was Goku Black.
He did the one against Edge, right? That was it?
yeah.
Yes.
That was it, right?
Did he?
Between
did
that
he,
and Cody.
Yeah, did he ever lose to Cody?
Yeah,
Holy shit. Was it really from fucking Cody to Edge?
because Cody was the first one. Because remember, that's where the
Basically,
joke
two
was
other
that
WWE guys above him.
because that was the joke that Cody ended Satanism.
Oh my god!
Well, I remember when he beat Malachi Black because that was at Grand Slam, right? And everybody was
Cody's
booing the
ending all
shit.
the isms.
Everybody was booing the shit out of Cody.
Right, because that was right around the time Cody gave Andrade his first loss too.
Yeah.
In AEW.
And I'm trying to imagine Malachi Black on his
Is
back.
that the one where he burnt his own back?
Yes.
Yes. You know what? I respect it for the love of the game. I don't know why he did that shit otherwise. Mac, are you on your phone on camera? Sir!
I'm looking at
Sir!
I'm looking at the last time Malachi Black jobbed.
Cody Rhodes was October 23rd, 2021.
Bro, 3 years? Ain't no way. I need to know, because I know they lost. I know House of Black lost.
Yeah.
But I need to know the last time Malachi Black got pinned.
Oh man, let me see. Shit.
Like straight
I
singles.
can't even see any. I don't even see any.
He got rolled up by Darby once, according to Blake.
Mm.
And he lost a cage match to FTR. I remember because I was laughing at how he should have been pinned.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at
Cody
straight up
Rhodes.
singles though.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes defeats Malachi Black October 23rd, 2021, and I'm looking.
I went right back to May 26th. Adam Copeland defeats Malachi Black.
Yeah,
It's the
that's
cage
the last
match.
one I see. Yeah. I think that's the last one.
Yeah, at least for singles.
Yeah.
But I
That's the
did.
last
I
one.
want before we lose Nick, I wanted to get into the WWE's ID program, the independent development program that they announced yesterday. Was it this morning or yesterday?
The other day.
Jeez,
Very, very divisive.
time gets weird. Okay, so I'm pulling up a list right now just so that I don't fuck anything up. WWE announces their ID program. Thank you, Google. Triple H gave a statement. He said, WWE ID is the latest in our efforts to identify and support the journey of up-and-coming wrestlers. In turn, raising the profile and strengthening the independent wrestling ecosystem. Triple H's words. They're going to strengthen the independent wrestling ecosystem.
Yeah, going to teach those guys how to find the hard cam.
Hurricane got really mad at that joke. Hurricane.
That's unfair. Most of those places don't have hard cams, you sons of bitches.
One of the indie wrestlers. Okay, because there were a lot of. Well, let me finish explaining what the WWE ID program is. WWE plans to provide prominent independent wrestling schools with a WWE ID designated, so you'll know them as a WWE ID school. With the purpose of providing new trainees and existing talent with enhanced developmental opportunities. Essentially, we're going to be funding these schools and allowing them to give better education and more controlled environments.
That is
When
word salad, man.
It means things if you pay attention. Words mean things.
And don't forget, select freelancers as well.
They're going to be giving money to these schools so that presumably they would be better. Like I said, they'd have better structure. And in a world where professional wrestling schools have never really had structure curriculums, you know, like things like that. Like there's never been like a school board, you know, like they're not sharing lesson plans across wrestling schools.
The Common Core.
Essentially, you would be creating a quality education system when it comes to pro wrestling. In a perfect world, that's what this is supposed to be. They've got a list of schools, and each of these schools is owned by either a current or former WWE personality.
Booker T's Reality of Wrestling, Cody Rhodes' Nightmare Factory, Seth Rollins, the Black and Brave Academy.
Was Team 3D in there?
Elite Pro Wrestling Academy and Knox Pro Wrestling Academy. Okay. This is Houston, Atlanta, Iowa, NH is New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, yeah.
Yes.
New Hampshire.
Yeah. And Los Angeles, California. I'm surprised Johnny Rod's school didn't get in there.
Maybe at some point.
Probably because Johnny's not even all that involved anymore, and it's kind of a mess down there.
Is it a mess? Is it getting a bad rep now?
It's like Johnny's obviously a much older man and can only be so involved in it.
Yeah.
So like who's teaching there is a bit weird. Plus, last time I checked, there were also all those weird rules at that school about like Johnny doesn't want you wrestling for other people.
Well, I'm glad things like that don't exist anymore, except that we know for sure certain schools inside of this ID program are known to do that. In particular, Booker T's Reality of Wrestling School really hurt the Houston wrestling ecosystem, as he wouldn't allow his wrestlers to work on certain shows. That's just the way it was. Now, have you asked Booker T? Any? I'd say certain, because there were others that he did allow. But I would say if you ask Booker T, he's probably saying because he doesn't want his students working in a place he doesn't trust. And that's logical.
Yes.
Right.
But that's still a power that I don't like seeing WWE have. Especially considering how they've done things in the past. I look specifically at NXT UK's time in existence and the things that ended up doing to the United Kingdom wrestling ecosystem, but it would have blew up anyway. That's a weird one. WWE did suck the life out of it, but it also imploded by itself. So the idea is that independent wrestling in America is volatile anyway. Same thing can happen here.
Ironically, even though they were already doing significant damage to the scene, they probably saved some of those guys' careers by pulling them out when they did.
I see. Now, this is my real issue. This all makes sense on a lot of levels. I can see a lot of good things from this. Like I said, quality is the biggest one. I trained to be a professional wrestler. I can tell you that it was very hard to find quality school when you can trust, and there are so many. I was in New York, and there were,
and many of them are scams.
2, 3, 4, 5.
In a bigger city.
I could have shown you 5 different wrestling schools in New York City, and they were all.
Most of them run by people you've never heard of.
And some of them are run by people you have.
Or have like a name attached to it who is never around, and someone that's distantly like you've heard them one time as a jobber in the 90s.
So it was a bit of a crapshoot trying to get an education in pro wrestling. This can really streamline that process. Why wouldn't you just go to the WWE school? Like,
Right.
I imagine the lines are gonna be like. That's another. How does that work? Actually, do we imagine this is just a finishing school situation? Like,
Gotta give you scholarships to join in.
Can you start at the fucking WWID school? Like, can you walk in and be like, "I'm still getting an education here"? Right.
I think one of the things to consider too is any of the non-designated schools, are they going to be stepping up their game now? Like, is this going to just become like an increase in the quality of wrestling schools across the country?
Yeah.
A lot of them are very cheap people running it, so I don't think we're going to see a lot of quality for a lot of them.
Dustin Rhodes was tweeting out his school earlier. He was like, no, don't go there. Come here.
He's still got his school in Texas, right? He's not Nightmare Factory.
Yes,
he's got the Rhodes Academy.
Yeah.
There's still WWA 4. There's still the Rhodes Academy. There's still what's that? The Wild Samoan School.
Right.
WXW, I think.
Yeah.
Creative Pro.
Yeah.
You just got to know what you're looking for, and but this is gonna change so much. What are the rates gonna look like? What when WWE and to a certain point AEW too, because AEW being a big company and signing young talent like a Nick Wayne or something. Jesus Christ, I can't get a point across. I have 18,000 things going on. Fuck. Here you go. Get out of here. Jesus Christ. No help. Anyway, my problem with the fucking school is because I forgot what I was talking about. I'm just gotta jump to the thing I do remember.
He was mentioning Nick Wayne.
Signing talents like a Nick Wayne or something like that.
Yeah.
AEW signs young talent. They don't really have an education system in place, but these guys also are not working. So you see a guy like Nick Wayne at 18 years old get pulled off the scene. He's not taking bookings in anywhere around the world. He's not taking many independent bookings. His development has essentially come to a halt. I look at Pete Dunne.
You could arguably say the same for
as my prime example has always been to look at Pete Dunne's wrestling career path versus Will Ospreay's wrestling career path. Okay. Will Ospreay was allowed to develop around the world as a wrestler. He became one of the best on the planet. Ricochet. Pete Dunne got pulled off the scene early as fuck. Directly into WWE. He went in there. He had an argument for one of the top prospects on the planet when he signed in the WWE. Mm-hmm. Development came to a fucking halt. He never grew past that. It's been how many years? 6, 7? Yeah. He's just Pete. He's that same level of Pete Dunne. There's never been another. It's fucking scary.
You mean he didn't learn anything as Butch?
Not just the way they book him or anything like that's one thing. Like, okay, he went on TV, they didn't book him good, blah blah blah. He's not. He's having 5-minute, 10-minute matches, getting paid. The pinnacle of his career. He doesn't have to develop anymore. He's gonna be this. That's his peak.
What's kind of funny is when you look at and you hear about the stories of him developing within the company, it seems like it's really diving more so into the backstage capacity of development for him.
He's gonna be a producer.
Yeah,
he could have been one of the best on the planet. But listen, obviously, like maybe he's really happy with his career path, and that's great. I'm just scared. How many Bryan Danielsons are we gonna lose?
To be clear, Pete Dunne is 30 and has apparently been training since 2006.
I'm saying it feels like he's been in WWE for 6 of those years. Jesus. Could you imagine if 30-year-old Pete Dunne has signed to WWE after 6 years of traveling the world? Come on, man. Anyway,
7 years. That was 2017 when he signed.
7 years. Whole careers begin and end in 7 years.
But to be fair to that sort of idea, like historically speaking, WWE has always been a company that's taken you in and has either been happy enough to build you without the stuff they have to beat out of you, or spend significant time beating the stuff out of you that they want you to unlearn to fit that system.
You know how many people? That's WWE's problem, though. Like that's not like a thing that's not like a thing that's not like a natural thing. You know, like that's not like that has to happen. Excuse me. That's not like that affects everybody the same way. I mean, people don't actually unlearn what they've developed as fucking 10 years of journeying around the world.
Oh, John's mic disconnected.
It depends what you mean by unlearn, because you 100% end up learning a new match structure, and that match structure kind of becomes the lifeblood of your career.
Yeah,
because if you don't adhere to the system fucks you.
I mean, like, look at. I take Bryan Danielson for example. You know, he wrestles 99 until 2009 on the Indies, and then they bring him to WWE, and they try to creatively stifle him. They try to, keep him down lower on the card. And I mean, to a certain extent, I understand that because he needs to appeal to a massive audience. But like, man, if the crowd never got behind fucking Bryan Danielson, we wouldn't have been shit in WWE. We wouldn't have had the run he had in AEW. So Bryan Danielson having all that experience and coming into the WWE and being stifled like right away, like it creates this thing. It's like WWE is going to do whatever they want with you. It doesn't matter where you've been. It doesn't matter who you wrestled. If it wasn't in WWE, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, I think back to
Jerry Lawler says it.
Yeah, do you ever think back to the power plant? Because when you talk wrestling schools, you gotta mention the power plant, right? Eventually,
I guess so.
WWE 4. I mean, you think that this big promotion when you got some great trainers. We got Crystal Pez Watley yelling at people. You got Sarge, who we're not going to discuss much further. You got Jody Hamilton, Paul Orndorff, and you think you're going to go in there and get that quality education, but it's just like this short man yelling at you to constantly do your sit-ups and your push-ups, and then all of a sudden you're injuring Bret Hart, and he's going to insult you for the next 20-30 years.
Oh Jesus!
I would rather I think that the WWE PC has a good system with Matt Bloom and guest trainers. Biff Busick, I think, is still there. Oni Lorcan, like those guys have
what a
wealth
name,
of
Oni
knowledge.
Lorcan.
Yeah, they have a wealth of knowledge. But I see these guys that come out of the. I see these guys that some of the guys, admittedly. A guy, take for example, a guy like Jay Malachi or Javon Evans, he's only been wrestling for a certain amount of years. He didn't get that much seasoning on the indies. He did DPW for a while. He did a couple of indie shots or lower, and then he comes to WWE, and it's oh man, I just saw you have a 30-minute match with Jake something, and now you're having a 5-minute match with Lexis King on TV. There's so much more you could be doing, dude.
It's not. This is what I was trying to say before I got cut off. I wanted to be clear that what we're saying while we sit here as fans sounds like I prefer these guys go through hardship. It's really what you would hear. It's
low down.
That's exactly what we sound like.
Exactly what I'm saying.
I need them to struggle. I want them to starve first.
Yeah, live in your car, bitch.
I don't mean that at all. Honestly,
$5 a show.
Very happy that wrestlers are gonna have a direct path. You can grow up and be like, when I grow up, I know exactly what I want to do so that I can try to get to WWE. That's a beautiful thing that never existed before. Usually it's when I grow up, I want to be a wrestler, and if I'm lucky, WWE will notice me someday. If I send in those tapes, WWE might see me and they might grasp my talent. But now it's if you go to the right school, if you learn what they're teaching you, you've got a real shot at becoming a WWE wrestler in a controlled environment where you don't have to die or do outlaw mud show shit for your fucking career or for the first 30 years of your fucking career. That's a beautiful thing. But I'm looking at this, like, I'm looking at the art form. Over the last, I don't know, 10 years, I would say 5 years probably, we've kind of seen a, probably since the debut of AEW, the independent wrestling scene kind of stopped growing, right? Evolving. That was a conversation that people were having last week online that I thought was interesting too, where it was like, it seems like all of wrestling stopped evolving. And
to be fair, look at what happened the following year after AEW began.
The pandemic.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, I feel like we're also in the moment, so it's like you don't see evolution, right? It happens, and you kind of notice, like, oh shit, things are kind of different. But just thinking of, I don't know, the independent wrestling we grew up on, the very strong, vibrant independent wrestling system from the early 2000s, where everybody was getting shitted on, and they dealt with the worst fucking promoters, and the pedophiles ran companies. And it was honestly a really bad business environment, a really bad place to develop as a wrestler, but it created like some really, really wonderful artists. You know, like I really worry for this plastification of pro wrestling. Like, it's gonna be this shiny corporate non-art. It goes from art and it becomes content. That's kind of the path that I see these things going on, but it is what it is. I guess it's a natural thing. WWE was always going to do this. AEW should have fucking done this years ago. They should have done this. They should have had this set up with their first year.
They still need to get something like this.
They need to.
I don't think they have the structure for that.
It's not even that they need to have a building or their own school. WWE has their own school, and they just dead ass just developed like 5 developmental territories right now. like here we go.
They used to have a ton too.
They're back. They got the whole system now.
They want to revamp that pipeline, baby.
They really changed the game. Like, they got the PC for the college athletes. They got the ID for the indie guys. They've got the whole shit on lock. AEW doesn't need to have all that. But they have a partnership with New Japan.
For all that churned out.
They have a partnership with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like, the dojo exists. Hello, put some money in that shit. Buy a new building.
Yeah, but you have to be admitted into the dojo.
Commit the fuck. Change the system. It's the U.S. dojo. You got the Japan dojo. Turn it into AEB.
This is the time to invest.
About the Japan dojo.
You get admitted into the Japan dojo. But you can apply for the U.S. dojo.
Jim Ross is looking at this shit now. I remember like back in the day, I was listening to a podcast a couple months ago, and Jim Ross was like, yeah, I used to have to like travel to like Manitoba, Canada to scout these guys, and it was bullshit. I'd get there, they'd be wrestling in front of 5 people, they were the shits. Like, Jim Ross probably looking at this thing like now, like, where was this like 30 years ago?
Honestly.
Now I don't have to travel to PWG and shake hands with Super Dragon. Now I just can go and it can be Booker T and whoever else, you know?
Get someone ready for their dark match. Fellas, I'm going to have to get ready to go, but I wanted to throw one last point out there. I saw someone, I think this was one of our Dirt Sheet friends, Ryan Vox, potentially sharing this. Someone shared this, though, and it was talking about how you're going to start having in those independent locker rooms, you're going to start having guys coming in there and starting the big league because, yeah, I came from the WWE ID system. You didn't, so I'm going to be making a little bit more.
You know what you do? You know what you do? You beat the shit out of them.
Assert the dominance. Trick or treat, fellas.
Establish dominance.
Bye, Nick.
All right, goodbye. Happy Halloween, y'all.
Good night, Nick.
I won't end the stream this time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So, did we have any more thoughts on the WWE ID program? Any more questions?
I mean, I guess it's hard to say without like just outright agreeing with a lot of it. Yeah, I think that for the most part, the seemingly the best way I can put it is homogenization of professional wrestling through the overreaching WWE system is probably bad for the actual entertainment of it the entire way across. I think there are a lot of little things that go into this. We talk about how for us it feels like professional wrestling evolved in such a way when we were coming up like in the 2000s and we got our eyes onto other products. A lot of that product has been, while slowly, because just new people getting involved, has been taken in and assimilated into the WWE product the same way they assimilated the ECW product into their program and created their little pocket 3 years of content known as the Attitude Era. It is sort of this weird inevitability of the system that whatever you do to quote forward press the industry will be homogenized and assimilated by that system.
That's why it's bad when they stop being things to get assimilated. It's
almost impossible.
It's kind of the way art works. Something always comes. There's just never been such an overreaching presence before. There's never been something that can suffocate it. It's never been this big. This was never this. I don't think it was meant to be this, but it was never this. There's always been enough time to build the tracks in front of the train. It's just the way it's always worked. So that's why this is so new and scary. It's like, this is actually very, very big. Now, of course, this is assuming that Triple H still has world domination plans the way he did. And I feel like I
think he does.
I feel like that's exactly where we are. But it's also, I don't know, man. I don't want to say it's like an outright bad thing. It's not. It's not completely negative. But it's also not completely positive. I'm genuinely scared for what wrestling looks like in 10 years with this.
I guess it depends on where you're looking. If you're like an indie scene guy, yeah, that's gonna be like kind of sucky.
It's not that.
If you're an international guy, then like I don't think you'll culturally. I don't think you'll have that much of an impact on the international scene.
Look at fucking Tanahashi. Look at Japan. Look at the things they're saying. Look
Tanahashi was always a fan of the Western style, though.
No, not just that. Not just that, but look at the things that him and executives are saying in interviews. They're talking about how they fell behind the Western companies that were able to develop talent faster. And so they kind of are trying to remedy that, but they can't because look at how big WWE is. So they partner up with AEW. But now that's what I mean when I said, why the fuck isn't AEW putting money not just into like a dojo? Like, fine. It doesn't have to just specifically be money into a facility and shit. Like, you motherfuckers need to sit down.
Why the Japanese scene fell behind?
You need to sit down and figure something out. Because you've been so busy. Well, I guess the pandemic kind of killed them. And there's just no accounting for all that time and all that strife. Like, that was just, nobody could see how the fuck you can get out of that. So, that's where they are now. But now,
John, I gotta ask you a quick question. So, do you think say if one of these WWE ID guys goes to Reality of Wrestling, Booker T's school, and they're booked for something like DPW or
you're very low back.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Say if they're booked for like say if they
DPW.
go to Reality. Yeah, Reality of Wrestling. They're in Booker T's school. They're in the WWE ID program. They go to somewhere like DPW. Booker T calls DPW and says, like, yeah, this guy can't lose.
That's just the nature of the business. When WWE started letting guys do indie dates, that's just, when AEW started letting guys do indie dates, that's just it's just what it is. Like, if you don't want to be in that situation, you got to use your brain when you're booking these matches. Like, I'm not going to book a WWE ID guy against my world champion. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you know, like if he can't lose, then no. Think ahead. That's on you as a promoter. I'm not. That's not one of the. That's like, that like is what it is. Like, that is not one of my major concerns when it comes to this WWE ID program. That's just the nature.
So I
of
do
business.
think that is an interesting concern to have if you are the wrestler under that program, where you are almost in a very weird, untrustworthy product because you are associated with this thing that limits you.
Yeah.
No. Nick said ID, but they put designation on podcast. It's like, yeah, you can only go on fucking impulsive. That's it. You can only do impulsive.
They so like you said, that is going to be an issue, but I feel like that issue belongs to the promoter. That's an issue that can be easily worked around. It'll take a little adjustment. They'll have to figure it out, but once you know how WWE ID works, they'll get their booking styles right, and people will know what to do with and with who. Jesus said Nick Gage get ready to learn WWE ID style.
Nice.
That's gonna be wild, right? I really want to see, because the NIL thing is kind of loose. If we're looking at the NIL thing, they literally just put your name on a paper that says you're guaranteed to come to us when you're ready, and you can just live your life until then.
Yeah.
If that's what WWE ID is, then
Wasn't Tavion an NIL guy?
yeah, a couple guys are. A few of them. I don't know how many have been successful, honestly.
There were a bunch when you see some of them, like the putouts they do, but like you never
Oba
really see
Femi
a lot
was.
of them.
Oba Femi was NIL, right?
Was he? I have no idea.
I think so. Anyway.
When I saw those, I literally only paid attention to the guys that were like amateur guys.
I like
If
the
you
big
came from
ones.
another sport, I didn't care.
I like the really big ones.
Of course.
No. Nah, man. But yeah, that's the WWE ID. That's gonna be interesting to watch as it develops. Apparently, wrestlers have already been signed to it.
I believe that.
So now the question becomes, who on the indie scene is the mole?
John,
Funny.
John, just searching. Oba Femi becoming the first NIL signee to win a title in WWE.
Ah, there we
Okay.
go. That's the one.
And it says Tank Ledger as well. I don't know who that is, but
Hank and Tank.
I've heard that
Hank
name.
and Tank.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yep.
They're good. They're interesting. They remind me of like if Otis and Tucker had were allowed to give all of Otis's personality. But yeah, Tucker retired too earlier, I think today or yesterday. He retired from pro wrestling. That's really sad.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
thought,
yeah. Said he's
I
gonna
thought
raise
Otis
his
and
kids
Tucker-
to be a wrestling coach or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't work out. It just didn't work out. You got to go do something else.
Yeah.
That's a damn shame.
Mm.
But yeah, man, moving on from these things, we had some injury news. I thought it was funny yesterday on NXT when Rhea Ripley showed up and they just randomly beat the shit out of her. and I said, Tyler, does it look like they wrote her off? He's like, no way. And of course, today comes out that, yeah, Rhea Ripley is going to be out for an indefinite amount of time. They said it was because of the attack in the parking lot. PWInsider comes out later on and says, it is a legitimate injury. People immediately jumped the gun. They were like, she must be pregnant. I was like, damn, that's
Dude,
kind
that's
of
my
all I
God.
saw. I know.
it's kind of
That's all I saw.
sexist. But but okay.
I saw she posted X-rays today.
I have a face, but I honestly, you know, that's also the injury that they gave her on screen. So I don't know.
Mm.
But if we don't know what the injury is yet. But
Dude, they fucked her up on TV.
they did beat the shit out of her. They did the kingpin to her. They crushed her head in the car door, right?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
But we don't know what the injury is yet. But I feel like we just got her back. It's kind of crazy. Like we just got her back in what, July?
Yeah.
And now she's gone in October. It's also a bit of a blessing in disguise if it's not that bad of an injury. Like she didn't break her fucking Oh my gosh, there's a much more important injury we have to talk about after this.
She's
The,
they're gonna drag this out to fucking WrestleMania, aren't they?
Well, at this point, you might as well, but I wouldn't. If it was me, I would take this as an opportunity to end this fucking story. But they didn't. They had Liv and Raquel take her out, so now when she comes back, she has to go attack them. So like the story has to continue. But if it was me, I would have taken an opportunity to start something new when Rhea came back, because I feel like she's been losing steam for the past since SummerSlam, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit after, because after they were getting they were getting like the biggest fucking pops like you'd heard on television in a long time. Rhea's finally gonna get her hands on Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
And then the next week they did the same thing, and then the next week they did the same thing, and then over and over and over every single week Rhea Ripley runs out. Sometimes she catches Liv Morgan, other times she doesn't. Sometimes she gets beat up, other times she doesn't. But there's no real plot development happening. None.
Yeah.
They're just running in actually running in circles.
Because she arguably already did get her hands on Liv Morgan, and then nothing really came of it.
Yeah.
Didn't get the belt back, so presumably you would move on. But no, they're going in circles. She's getting involved with Raquel now, and Damien's back and involved with Balor, and now Damien's losing to Dominic. And now, the Judgment Day thing was working so well, but it was supposed to finish.
But they're also doing the thing where the Judgment Day isn't even all that cohesive.
Well, they are now. They're family.
Well, no, because fucking Finn Balor and JD McDonough are on their own fucking program.
Oh, he's mad now, though. He's mad at Dominic now. They've got a whole nother thing coming. But Dominic got a win over Damian Priest, so now Dominic's a world title contender. But they cheated Damian Priest. So Damian Priest's going to have new problems with them. So now he's running a circle.
And then Finn got mad at JD for getting involved.
And now they've got problems. So Judgment Day continues to rule Raw, and I feel like it has lost a little bit of steam, and it's a little bit of ass. Sonya Deville has a faction that nobody really talks about. Sorry. They're not dead. They're still on TV. Jesus.
Oh, the Scissor Sisters?
No, we can't call them that. That is problematic.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Let me do the
They're on
Drewski.
TV.
Hold on.
But yeah, she's hurt. So that's one thing. But TNA had their Bound for Glory tapings. They went well. Joe Hendry lost. People trying to convince me that the chase is good, and I'm thinking, the Joe Hendry chase? Like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Like, he should have just won while he was hot right now and dropped it to somebody better later. Like,
he should have won that. He should have won that 6-way, and then he should have dropped the title back to Nemeth here. That's all they should have done.
There you go. Like, you know what I'm saying? You give Mick Foley the title for a couple weeks. He's over. He's hot. Doesn't matter, right?
Wasn't Nemeth the big baby face?
He's a heel now.
Okay, I don't know.
JBL's been helping him.
He did say on television that he has not been asking JBL for help.
Oh, okay. So he's upset.
Okay.
Or he might be. He might
He's
not.
denying all responsibility.
And at Bound for Glory, when JBL hit Joe Hendry with the clothesline from hell, Nemeth was down and did not see it.
So they screwed Hendry in the semi-main.
Yep.
And in the main event of Bound for Glory, the Hardy Boys won the tag team titles. And
Huzzah.
that is that. I was like, damn, are the TNA fans into this? Like, but I guess they are. I guess they were. People were like, trust me, the Joe Hendry chase. Got it, man. That's your show. I hope you enjoy it.
All right.
The next night, though, I don't know what the fuck was in the air, man. Vikingo hurt himself. He just came back, bro. He just came back. He's on his 5th match. Bad knee injury. Possibly destroyed the thing.
Oof. Corkscrew moonsault to the outside.
To the ground, and doesn't get back up.
Yeah.
That is the how do you say, the inevitable path of that style.
Yeah, but damn, like, that's not even normal. That's like
I saw what's her face do the corkscrew moonsault on NXT. I'm just like, that's another NXT knee about to get collected. Add to the pile.
maybe we don't. Maybe we just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nikita Lyons, 25 years old, double knee braced up. That'll end well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old is Tegan?
Oh God.
Tegan is 20s, but she's got 2 fucked up knees too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And Dakota Kai's got one.
Yep.
And she's out again with a knee injury.
Yeah.
So that
NXT
wasn't.
collecting them knees, man.
Yeah. That was bad enough. And then things get substantially worse. Chris Bay, what did you say? He was going for a neck breaker, Mac?
So what I was told, I haven't seen any videos or anything. Do you guys remember when Devon used to do that? He used to hang the guy on the second rope and then do that awesome like neck breaker, like running neck breaker.
Yeah.
And
He'd run out to the middle, yeah.
Yeah. I heard that Chris Bay took like a variation of that and he had taken it hundreds of times and it just landed the wrong way, man.
These are the things. It's almost always something that you've done 100 million times because you do those things reflexively, instinctively. You don't really think about them when you do them.
I mean, look what happened with D'Lo. How many times did he do that, like running like Liger bomb from like the corner, and then he just dropped draws one day, you know?
So Chris Bay,
The muscle buster.
the muscle buster,
yeah.
the Tyson Kid, man.
Yeah.
It's just a normal thing. So Chris Bay goes down, and the reports from the live crowd were that he was talking, but he wasn't moving.
Yeah.
And then they ended the show immediately. They ended the match. They ended the show. Sent everyone home.
I think
took him to the
they
hospital.
did the meet and greet.
They did the meet and greet. You're right.
Yeah.
That's great. That's actually a really good thing. That's exactly how you handle that situation. But he goes to the hospital and he undergoes emergency surgery. Immediately. So that is already that's already pretty scary stuff.
High risk.
And then the report comes out that he got the neck injury, immediate surgery, details are private. They put a GoFundMe out. It was at 50,000. It passed 50,000 early. Put it at 60,000. Passed 60,000 early. Put it to 100,000. The friend of Chris Bay says that they needed to do this because he's got a long road ahead of him.
Yeah.
And he's not like there's gonna have to be a way to support himself financially the whole time. He's not gonna be able to wrestle clearly. And all the signs point to the obvious. And I don't really want to speculate because that's like a weird thing to speculate about. But like, it's not. It doesn't sound good. It's honestly really scary. It's not fucked up to talk about. But the whole time I'm thinking to myself, this is really nice, and the wrestling industry comes together, thousands of dollars to this person who performs for us, puts the body on the line for us. Where's Anthem? Like, I mean, I'm sure they're taking care of things behind the scenes, right? Because if they weren't, I feel like in 2024,
I feel like Anthem might be taking care of his hospital bills in this. So they've raised $79,020 of a $100,000 goal with 539 donations, and the top donator right now is Adam Copeland at $10,000.
That I heard about.
That was so nice because 10,000 is fucking crazy for a donation. First of all, but that comes from the heart. Adam Copeland, neck issues ended his career.
Yeah.
Neck issues altered his career before they ended his career. He's dealt with it over and over again.
Yeah. It's one of those interesting things when I look back at like some of the old clips and people used to poke fun at Edge for like losing all that muscle mass. It was like, oh, he got off the steroids, but like the dude's neck was fucked. He couldn't work out like that.
Yeah.
And so when he heard that it was a neck thing, I know that he did that without even thinking twice. Like,
yeah,
it's fucking scary. It is. I honestly, I feel like shit. I feel like guilty. I always feel guilty when a wrestler gets paralyzed. Like, damn, they did that for us. Fuck. Like, that's horrifying.
Yeah, so it looks like somebody anonymously donated 5,000. Scott Demore 5,000. Kevin Kesser, who is carrying cross, 3,000, and Chris Jericho 2,500.
Nice. That's how Tony Khan dropped 1,000. I was like, put your billionaire ass hand back in your Somebody get the plate back over to Tony Khan. What the fuck? No, but definitely, if you can, donate, buy merchandise. Buy Chris Bay merchandise. If donating doesn't do it for you, because I'm not gonna judge you, honestly. Maybe some people really need something back in return. I get it.
I believe PWT put out a shirt specifically for it.
Buy the damn shirt.
Yeah.
Proceeds are gonna go right to him. You get yourself a shirt. You feel like you did something. I honestly, I don't know what else to say about it. Greg, Mac, did you guys have any more thoughts about this?
About the Chris Bay situation, not particularly, other than just like.
No, go ahead, Greg. Sorry.
I just hope he has like the right people around him to just like, hey man, think about what your future prospects are. Like, obviously focus on healing, but also think about like, maybe this path isn't for you anymore. It's one of those things, man. Neck injury is not something you really want to fuck with.
Yeah, I kind of feel like maybe, like I said a minute ago, that Anthem is doing something for him, and this is the money that he needs to live off of for a long time. My hope is that he's not paralyzed for life, which has crossed my head. I'm not speculating. I don't know anything about this, but I just really hope that he's not paralyzed for life. Greg, I think you're right with, this, it seems serious, like very, very, very serious. And if it's as serious as we think and that they've led us to believe it is, maybe when you heal, maybe you think about going down another path.
There's a lot of other jobs in pro wrestling. If
Corey Graves got a whole career. Like Corey Graves got his career in a sense.
Dude, Bobby Roode broke his neck, and now he's one of the backstage producers. He has a job for life.
Which he said was
Jason
his
Jordan.
there.
Jason Jordan's a bad producer. If I break my fucking neck in a company, I'm coming to work. I'm coming to work in my wheelchair, whether you ask me or not. I'm waiting. I know you have a spot for me. I fucking know there's a spot. You're gonna find something. You're gonna find a spot for me to park my fucking chair. Fuck that.
John's gonna roll up looking like Mr. McMahon after he got his ankle crushed in '99.
Where am I working, boss? I think I can bump.
Just gonna flip my just like I'm ringing the bell, right? Where's the hammer? Come on.
I take a bump. I can take one bump. You're in a chair. Flip it over. You flip the chair over. I'm good, brother.
Yeah. Push me down the ramp.
John's gonna do the fucking Jack Victory spot where you just come out in the wheelchair for several months.
Oh, I can't wait to do the Linda McMahon reveal though. At the end of that, emotionless robot. Just get up. Just get up.
Stupid.
Just get up and give you the worst performance you've ever seen.
Pro Wrestling also had another health scare job.
Oh shit, that's right, Maria Kanellis. She got sent to the hospital.
Not even the one I was referring to, but yes, you're correct.
Oh,
Jesus.
She's alive though. Which one were you talking about?
I was talking about Phantasmo.
Oh fuck! God damn, this was a bad week.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He
found a little bit of cancer, and I want to word it that way because that's how he worded it. And it's like weird to be like El Phantasmo has cancer because he didn't word it that way, and I don't think he wants to. I will say they found a little bit of cancer, in El Fantasmo, and so he had to take a indefinite period of time away from pro wrestling. And I imagine he got a very nice phone call from Kenta Kobashi. At least that cushion the fucking fall when the God of Gods calls you to wish you good luck, because he
That
is
would be
also
lovely.
kicked out of cancer. Because ELP mentioned like others have spoken to him and counseled with him, and he's not sad. So don't be sad for him. And he actually mentioned like give your real concerns to Chris Bay because he needs it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really scared the shit out of me because he goes, Chris Bay needs it much, much more than I do. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's
What is Maria Kanellis going through? I saw she was in the hospital.
I want to say it was an infection, but let me double check. That's how it be.
Yeah.
Maria is back home after being admitted to the hospital. This is I don't know what website this is. That's crazy. Because it's on MSN.com, but that's not where the fucking it's WrestleZone.
It says Maria Kanellis has shared the news that doctors have discovered a mass on her adrenal gland.
No.
Yeah. It says Maria Kanellis recovering from in hospital after surgery on adrenal gland, but she did post a photo of her leaving the hospital and then the next day going back saying that she was experiencing severe amount of pain.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Everybody's fucked up in wrestling this week. It's a bad week for injuries.
I guess Mike was supposed to fly out for something. I think I don't know if it was a taping or an independent show or something, but she was like, he was like, Mike was supposed to be somewhere, but he stayed here at my bedside the whole time, and just giving him like mad props.
Respect.
Yeah, much respect. Yeah, Mike's a good dude.
Did you
also like a guy who's sorry, like we consider like the situation Mike is in to take care of his wife at this point as a guy who dealt with like substance abuse because of pain meds. Yeesh.
Oh yeah,
and he's got the money now, so you better take care of her. Yeah. Her contract is coming up soon too, so they gotta figure shit out. Kenny Omega on his way back, possibly, maybe, hopefully, please.
I want to hear Battle Cry.
He will be.
You might hear Devil Sky before you hear Battle Cry.
Definitely hearing Devil Sky. Kenny's not going to Japan and then using fucking Battle Cry. That's bullshit.
I don't think he ever has he? Not since he left.
No, he has not.
No.
Yeah.
November 4th.
Every comeback has been Devil Sky.
Yep. November 4th, Power Struggle. Kenny Omega will make a special guest appearance. The New Japan social media saying, referencing the previous video that Kenny put out with Tanahashi for New Japan Pro Wrestling, where he mentioned that he would like to team with Tanahashi at Wrestle Dynasty.
Can I note what bothers me about that match?
What is that?
Well, this is a situation where I go like, yes, of course, tag match, because you can't be out there. You're not in a place yet where you can have a full singles match. But I feel like neither one of them are in that place.
They're both carrying each other, Greg. You see, they're holding. It's two people leaning on each other and just hoping for the best.
They're just doing that thing where you wrap your arms entwined and just lay on each other's backs.
Just swinging each other around.
Yeah.
Tanahashi on his retirement year. That'll be the beginning of his retirement year. And that's presuming that's what Kenny's going to come back to announce. I think it's kind of crazy that Kenny's going to come back.
Meanwhile, we're still waiting on John Cena to begin his.
It's coming. But it's kind of crazy to see Kenny Omega come back from injury and like work New Japan first. Like that's a big business thing. I was going to say no, but I guess it can't hurt AEW.
I think there was also the argument that like if it's him coming back to work Wrestle Dynasty, it'll get worked into the AEW program anyway.
That's true. That's
And we
true.
also,
And promoting it on New Japan First certainly makes it feel more authentic to them over there.
Yeah.
we mentioned that they already announced that Tanahashi will start his retirement tour against Evil at Wrestle Kingdom.
Can we discuss that?
God damn it! I was an Evil fan, but god damn, did that fall? Oh Jesus!
It's not even fair, honestly.
Hey, listen, man. The House of Torture is one of the most beloved, famous groups over in Japan. Okay, so
They sell a
Evil's
lot
not
of
a bad
merch.
wrestler either. I'll never ever say Evil's a bad wrestler because he's not.
No, he's not.
He is great, actually. And I still remember loving him in LJ and loving him as Watanabe. And there's literally footage of me is cheering Watanabe at a Ring of Honor show. I can never go back on those words.
Listen, I'll use an example that I think fits a lot. I loved Mike Awesome. Huge Mike Awesome fan. Mike Awesome works in 10 to 15 minute bursts of intense violence. You know where Mike Awesome doesn't work? John, I think you've seen this. When you give him 30 minutes with Kenta Kobashi. That is too much time for Mike Awesome.
I've watched that match because when I was younger, I just went by like the names. I was like, Mike Awesome versus Kenta Kobashi. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. And it was really supposed to be just a harken back to their New Japan match, which is 20 minutes max, which is still good. It's workable for Mike Awesome.
Yeah.
Evil's best stuff was always 10 to 15 minute brawls with Ishii and Shibata and Masato Tanaka and those guys that just went out there and threw bombs for 10 to 15 minutes. And then they were like, we're going to make you the champ. We need you to put in a 40-minute New Japan main event. And they found out he doesn't know how to do that.
I was at MCU Park for Field of Honor 2015 in Brooklyn, and they had a gauntlet match for a shot at the Ring of Honor World Television title, and I popped for two people. I popped for Dijak and Watanabe.
Nice.
Watanabe's the man.
Clearly you enjoyed yourself at this show.
Yeah, like Greg said, once they kind of exposed him a little bit with the world title matches, it was like people soured on him, at least on this side of the world. You know, that's kind of the Goldberg thing. Triple H, Goldberg comes to WWE, they ask him the worst 20-minute matches, and it's crazy because they're asking him to work 20-minute matches, not 40. 20.
Yeah.
They exposed him.
Yeah. And
same
even
concept.
that 20-minute matches at like Hunter's pace.
We're gonna sit on this rest hold, brother. And I'm gonna hit you with the spine buster.
We ain't got him yet, brother. We ain't got him yet.
Yeah. You hear that? I still hear somebody happy. But yeah, that's evil. Did you guys see Dynamite? Or did you see Dynamite, Mac? Greg? I know Mac, you're at work.
No.
Interesting. I'll be
I
the.
was following along.
I saw the one clip you probably think I saw, John.
Is it the Bobby Lashley clip?
It is the Bobby Lashley clip.
Okay. Well then, there's that.
I was following along with the great coverage done by John Escudero on the Facebook page.
Thank you.
What was that fucking SpongeBob ass shit that fucking Darby Allin did?
That was hilarious. Because
What did he do?
They dropped him on the thing a little too
They got
fast.
the Sting thing?
They had to hold him for a second, and he just kind of.
Oh no!
It was very funny.
He's fighting Claudio. He jumps on Claudio's back. Claudio kind of like beals him. He falls on the announce table, and then 2 seconds later, the fucking announce table explodes.
It just popped under him. But it was so much chaos. Like, it was so chaotic. Like, he didn't even take the latch off him. Like, he was trying to brawl Claudio with the latch on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, still attached to the
Oh wow!
Dude,
So it looked like, it looked like chaos. It didn't go against what they were trying to get across in the segment. But
dude,
I've seen Sting do that, but there was a purpose to it.
Yeah,
because he wanted to grab DDP and come back up, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Yep, exactly. Yep. I thought he was going to start abducting them one by one. So that in full gear, it would just be Orange Cassidy and Mox.
They all fall
Darby
down
Allin just
at
doing
full
the-
gear.
Darby Allin just doing the fucking the aerial takedowns from Arkham Asylum.
I said to myself,
Square. Press square.
I go, he's going to grab Claudio and they're going to go to the ceiling, kind of like playing off of the Sting thing. And
Actually.
I go, how is this 108-pound motherfucker going to grab 300-pound Claudio?
It actually would have been incredible. Like, I actually want that very badly now. I need him to
Like
come
a-
and just
like
swoop.
a hot-
They disappear into the pink jacket. Like,
It's like the cables you It's like the cables you see in fucking James Bond. The cable itself can support like 600 pounds.
so no, I wanted to obviously I wanted to talk about the Bobby Lashley debut. Bobby Lashley, Shan Benjamin loses a match to Swerve Strickland, and then MVP picks up the phone, makes a phone call, and I was like, man, there better not be no next week shit. And then the lights go out. And it's fucking funny because the lights go out and they turn them back on by mistake. I was like, fuck.
And then they go out again differently.
Yeah, now we go out to do the fucking entrance. Oh my god damn it, they fucked it up. It was supposed to go out and stay off until the entrance starts. So that happened, but it was still.
Which, by the way, I feel like Excalibur does the worst thing you can do at that point, which is react to it.
Oh, he was like, "Fuck,
hey.
What? The lights went off. They came back on. I'm sorry." But yeah, Bobby Lashley comes out.
Sorry,
and
guys.
beats the Ashley is All Elite Wrestling. Shut the fuck up, Jesus.
What
He
was
comes
that?
out, immediately clotheslines the dog shit out of Swerve Strickland, and then they jump Swerve and Prince Nana, and they declare that the Hurt Syndicate is back in business. So it was a pretty good moment. I'm just kind of hoping that Shelton Benjamin doesn't fall to the wayside now. Now they did do something I thought was interesting, a double team move in the ring, and I was like, but it wasn't like anything like crazy, but like Shelton, Irish whips the dude into Bobby, and then Bobby lifts him up for that.
Hits him with the big spine buster.
Yeah, no, the big ass jacked ass Uranagi.
The thumb in the bum spine buster.
Yeah, there you go. And I was like, I wonder if we're gonna be seeing Shelton and Benjamin.
Yes, Shelton and Benjamin tag team for the ages.
Shelton and Lashley tagging for a bit in sort of the way that they did with Swerve and Keith Lee. Not that they need to break up eventually, but that we can use you here, and then we know that you're a single. Like, we know you're a singles guy. We'll get to it. We just, for now, we'll do this type deal. And I wonder if that's better for Shelton than Bobby.
That
just
feels like
coming
the
in.
kind of thing you do in, like, if you actually have a tag league, but I don't know if it fits. But then again, it's also something you can do with them because there's just no room in the main event scene for you right now.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. And it's
Private Party
What's that?
Private Party doesn't seem like they're going to be a long reigning tag team. So
wait, Mac, we're not talking about that. Get out of here.
no, what I'm saying.
No, that's a whole subject. Wait. Wait.
He wants to get to it. Let him
You
get to it.
want to get to it. We got to get there. We got a format. It makes it hard to clip TikToks this way. But
We gotta be professional, damn it.
we do. No, the Lashley thing, the position on the card, he still gets to have his first match on pay-per-view with like the former world champion Swerve Strickland, even
Yes.
if that's the direction that they're going in.
Yes.
My thing here is just like, can we protect Shelton? Like, can we find a way to do this and make it so that Shelton is not the fall guy
Yeah,
in
but it's
this
title on.
I get that.
faction? That's my concern here. Like, you don't just let him showcase all that talent for 2 weeks and then we're just gonna fuck him. You're like, no way, bro. Add Leo Rush to the group.
After the ass beating?
Yeah, they fucking showed him that. Oh fuck, you're right. You guys are right. What was I thinking? I'm fucking with these guys. They ain't even
Wasn't he
helping.
with? I was gonna say, wasn't he fucking with somebody? Wasn't he fucking with Private Party?
He's with Top Flight, but he got mad at them.
Top Flight, yeah. Oh, did he?
he lost the match last week to Ricochet, and then he was backstage.
You
Like,
mean Leo Rush got mad at somebody only a few weeks after he showed up? What?
Yeah. He was like, fuck, we got to change something, man. We keep losing. And MVP already gave him the card. He said, if you're thinking, here's my number. And then Leo did say, like, we got to change something. But then Action Andretti agreed with him. Like, yeah, guys, we got to change. So I'm like, oh, well, they're just all going to turn heel. Like, shut the fuck up. I guess the idea is Moxley.
You pretended to be fucking flight attendants.
Yeah, you did. I guess the idea is like Moxley is because they're beefing with him, like they feel like inspired to change or whatever.
You had the connection between Leo and Bobby, so.
Yeah, but let's not even bring it up. Let's just leave it as a thing that is an unspoken thing. We all know. Yeah. We know they have a history.
Yeah. Some unspoken thing.
Because the last thing I need right now is Lashley bending over and fucking fanning his ass.
Oh, Ace Venturing his ass, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's a crazy ass visual.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
I'm looking forward to Bobby Lashley's AEW run. He had been doing some interviews. Karrion Kross did an interview where he said Bobby Lashley wanted to do a work shoe fight leading into their match at WrestleMania. For a fucking to give some attention to that, and then Karrion was like, "Hey, bro, but what if nobody breaks us up?" And then Lashley was like, "Damn, you're right." So they left that alone. And
which is a gimmick I can't hate on because I watched Danielson and Roderick do it in front of an entire crowd.
I don't think it would have. I don't know if it would have went the way he thinks it would have went.
Probably not.
I think they get into a
the fact that Karrion broke it down that fast, it's like, shit, I didn't think this through.
He's like, I'll be back. I got a couple things to work out. And then lastly, the interview, I don't know with who, so sorry, podcast guys. But he had mentioned that he wanted to do an angle with Gunther, where Gunther says something like, you people can't be champion or something to that effect. And then they would mask it. Like, it wouldn't be like full-on racism, but Lashley would respond.
Racist undertones?
Yeah. And then Lashley would respond by putting his thumb over Gunther's fucking face and being like, wait, I recognize you. Like, I recognize you with this mustache. Like, some crazy shit calling Gunther Hitler. I was like, damn, Lashley. He was losing his mind. He was at wit's end. Like, I gotta figure out a way to get over without Triple H. He genuinely feels like Triple H fucked him. Like, he doesn't say like, I got fucked. But MVP was online talking about, yeah, that motherfucker broke us up and wouldn't put his back together. And then Lashley is like, the new regime. The new regime. That's fucking saying. If it's right between the lines, Triple H fucked us. Triple H fucked the Hurt Business. That's what they think. They feel that. Legitimately.
Bobby's thinking about, a future where he probably comes back and MVP's just like, I don't give a shit.
MVP's like, I'll never go back to that fucking place. We're making money, boy.
Oh, man. Which, as I noted to you, John, it's like, Gunther does end up kind of doing the you people thing with fucking Damian Priest.
He does. He called him homeless street trash. I don't give a fuck if you're a homeless garbage. You can never be world champion. You're street trash. Like,
dude, he said to him, he goes, if you're homeless, you're kind of making your decision to live on the streets, aren't you? Oh, shit.
That's crazy.
I was like, oh, shit, this motherfucker's spitting.
No, I did. No, wait a minute. Nah. That's fucked up. But yeah, Lashley is now at AEW. I don't know that means that he's going to be pitching this kind of shit there. I don't think he feels as...
The desperation?
As desperate anymore. Yeah. He had talked about one of the things that attracted him to AEW was that... where he spoke to Adam Copeland and then he spoke to MVP and it was like Tony Khan and the way he talks to the wrestlers and that he's told them like specifically like when you come here We're gonna give you a chance to continue your legacy and things like that. I guess they made Bobby feel like they cared
Wanted?
about. Yeah, they made him feel like they cared about him. They wanted him here. He can help, and so he is very excited to start with AEW. And I'm excited to see what he's gonna do next. But Private Party, Mac, Private Party, finally won the tag team championships in an incredible match. Several times where I thought the Young Bucks were gonna end Private Party as a tag team, and I was like, "Fuck!" Fuck. Any match that should have a foregone conclusion, but convinces me in the other direction multiple times, you've done your job. You're gonna get high praise from me. That's good shit. Several times I legitimately thought like the Young Bucks are gonna end Private Party here. Like you're gonna fuck this whole shit. And it didn't. They pulled it out at the end. That shit felt good. Great wrestling. And then they got the moment where the Young Bucks give them their titles, give them the respect on television. And I'm sure they feel for them in real life. Great. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they were one of the first. They scouted them. The Bucks had heard about the brother, or not brother, but the duo tag team in Queens. They worked them. You know the story.
I'm pretty sure they were booked as brothers.
They were booked as brothers, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not bugging.
No, you're not.
No, I know. What's his name was booked. Cassie was like booked as Mark Quinn's little brother.
Fucking knew it. I was like, why did I think that? I wanted to adjust, but I knew I thought that.
Bro, every tag team has to be a brother.
I like it. The Dudleys, man. The Dudleys in Dudleyville. They're always going to set the standard.
The one I always
Papa
go
Dudley
back
was
to-
a traveling salesman.
The one that I always go back to is Edge and Christian, because in like 98, they were really saying like, yeah, they're brothers. And then like around like 2002, 2003, they were like, well, they're as close as brothers, so we call them brothers.
It changed out of nowhere, didn't it?
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
it was crazy. Yeah.
That's why they'll
was the
never
thing. They
stand up to the
started-
Dudleys. The Dudleys are still brothers.
They started selling those documentaries, and it was just like, shit, we got to tell their real story.
So
They're
Jay
like
and
brothers.
I.
But Bubba and Devon are not the original Dudleys. They came in
No,
after like dances
they're
with
like-
Dudleys and all them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Dick was
Big
Sign
Dick.
there?
Sign
was
Guy
there
Dudley,
first? Yeah.
dances with Dudley,
Yeah.
Big Dick Dudley.
Dudley Dudley.
Dudley, yes.
And then when Bubba Ray came in, he feuded with Devon for a long time.
He's
Yeah,
back.
Bubba
Ray.
came first, and Devon came later to be like, yo, fucking serious the fuck up, guys.
Snap out of it. Get off the drugs.
Get this.
I got this.
shithead out
I
of
got
our
this
company.
idea. I got this idea for camo outfits. Watch this.
Shut up.
It's
New Jack's gonna get pissed at somebody.
they really took his whole shit.
They said that was
dude.
Vince's call.
New Jack's gonna stab somebody very similar to the uniform that I wear.
I'm sorry, but I
Jesus.
can see Bubba Ray saying, "Hey, we're on TV." Like nobody's gonna tell the difference. But yeah, Bubba's actually back working the ECW Arena show. We mentioned that earlier. I think he will be teaming with Trick Williams.
Mm.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck
John
outta
is
here.
still not sold
Get
on,
him out of this
on
company.
Trick Willy Wonka.
I don't mind Trick as much as I'm sick of seeing Bubba Ray. Yo. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Oh, yo, I watched Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. I'm not gonna go through a match by match review, but I will say, I watched day 1. I didn't watch day 2. I watched it for the Takeshita Mike Bailey match, but I sat through the whole thing.
Okay.
Production value was really fucking nice. It essentially looks like they just ported over the whole TNA production style and set and money. There was a fucking Bubba Ray versus Jinder Mahal match on this fucking card.
Excuse me,
That
his
was
name is Raj Desi.
Yeah.
Raj Desi, excuse me. I knew he had a different name, but I didn't know it.
Just call him Jinder Mahal. Gives a fuck.
What he's saying is he didn't
is
care.
Jinder. He is Jinder Mahal. But this match was as bad as you thought it was. Like, this was fucking
Damn.
horrid. This was bad. I hated every second of this. It made me want to not watch the rest of the show, but I knew Takeshita's here, and that's my fucking boy. All right, so I was there, and Takeshita made up for it in spades. They gave him and Mike Bailey had a fucking incredible match. You know who else had a good match? Miyu Yamashishita, and Giselle. Giselle, I hadn't seen much of, but Giselle is a fine fucking wrestler. She gave Miyu a fucking excellent match. I didn't see the match she had the next night with Athena, but I imagine that was just as good because
It was very good. I saw it. It was very good.
I'd never seen. Oh, my camera died. I'd never seen Giselle before. Well, I knew of her obviously, but I'd never seen her match before this, and I was very impressed. Very, you got a good one. Excuse me, Scott. But yeah, I brought that up because we were talking about Bubba Ray Dudley, and he was like a shit stain. Like he made me not want to watch Day 2. Like he's the reason why I didn't watch Day 2. I was like, not even the Takeshita match is gonna get me to.
Yeah.
Sorry, Scott. I support what you're doing though.
So day two,
I'm looking at some clips, and yeah, it looks exactly like a fucking Impact show.
Right?
day two, they did a spot where Bubba got like Harley Cameron went face first into Bubba's crotch or something, and they got
Classic.
up and like screamed at each other, and I'm just like, dude, what the fuck is this? Why? Get out of this company.
I am Harley Cameron
That sounds like a Harley Cameron spot, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
She is honestly winning me over. I don't know what it is. She's such a fucking goof.
I think
Like
I
she's
can tell
got
you
a
what it is.
lot of charisma. No, it's not that. I swear to you. This is a lot. She had been there for a while with the same. Yeah, she was there. They were there too, the whole time.
Yeah.
But she's got a lot of personality. Like to me, she looks like a can full of charisma, and it keeps like popping out in this goofy little shit she does. But if somebody could channel that, if honestly, I hate to say it, but if she was to go to WWE and they could channel that shit, she would have a pretty great career in front of her. Honestly, I think she could take like a Chelsea Green spot and do a lot of wonders with that.
She is very Chelsea Green-esque, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like she's not gonna give you the best match, but she's very fucking entertaining. And if you can do that in the ring, be entertaining, just do, fucking give it the jester match. Like the fucking clown match.
I don't even think she should be like a wrestling personality anyway.
You're right. You're absolutely right about that. You shouldn't be shoehorning people into having to wrestle when they can't, because then you fuck the angle, the gimmick up.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Just good talking personality.
You remember when they had fucking like Armando Estrada was just the manager, and then they saw he had abs. It's like, oh, you should wrestle.
Oh fuck, you're right. He had a stint on like ECW, right?
Yes.
Oh god, and I'm talking
Like,
about
oh, you're in
WWE.
great shape. We should be in the ring. Like that's how that works.
Wait.
Why do you make us sound like the Punisher?
No, wait.
Hey John, did you ever hear that story about Vince McMahon firing Gangrel?
I don't think so.
So the similar to seeing Armando Estrada with his shirt off, Gangrel was wrestling Viscera in a match, and Gangrel had considerably put on some weight, and he went for a leapfrog.
Which is very easy to hide under those blouses.
Yeah, and he went for a leapfrog, and his shirt flew up, and Vince saw his belly and went, "Ugh, he's fired."
That's great.
That's such a
mean,
Vince move.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you don't know wrestling, you'd be like, nah, that didn't happen. If you know Vince McMahon, you know that happened. You know that happened.
Yeah.
You know who
Yeah.
told that story? Bruce Pritchard.
Of course.
Yeah, so you know it happened because Bruce is probably proud of that shit.
Yeah.
And then he fired him.
I haven't
cocksucker.
seen it, but I saw a meme of just like people. It was like people watching the McMahon documentary and being outraged, and then like wrestling fans watching it and just being bored. Like, yeah, Yeah,
Yeah,
that's him.
dude, that
Yeah.
whole documentary, Greg, was an updated version of that Vince McMahon DVD that they put out like 15 years ago. That's all it was.
Yeah, yeah. It was a remaster. Like it was like a 4K. That was the best part of that. If you watch that first episode, they 4K remastered so much old ass wrestling footage.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about
John
not like
just wants the clip art.
not even like Attitude Era. I'm talking about 4K 1960s, 4K 70s,
Wow.
4K 80s. I was like, this is gorgeous, incredible.
John,
Bob Backlund's never looked so good.
It really
I've-
never really.
I have a friend at work who was like, "Would you recommend the Vince McMahon documentary?" He's kind of a casual fan, so I was like, "Yeah, I mean, give it a look." I thought, it didn't tell me anything I already didn't know. He goes, "All right, I'm going on a 3-day weekend. I think I'll binge watch." And he comes back and he's like, "Dude, after the allegations broke, he didn't come back and like interview. He refused." I go, "Well, yeah." And he goes, "What the fuck was this all about?"
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
We're
what do
like,
you
oh
think,
yeah,
like-
they taped this a long time ago, bro.
Yeah.
yeah, thankfully we already kind of went in. I already kind of went in knowing that, like, we knew that he has stopped giving fucking answers right when he left. But there was a rumor that Oba Femi was leaving NXT because has supposedly been seen saying
his
goodbye.
goodbyes.
Yeah, but apparently that might not be the case. Well, Fightful asked around, and they were met with ignorance, supposedly, quote unquote. People
Of
were
course.
saying, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about." But they did note that generally,
Who's Oba Femi? No.
right? Who? He works here.
That
They said-
NLI guy?
They said generally when people do their goodbyes on NXT, it's done on camera. So like they would
Okay.
have given him like a moment, so they don't think that that's true. But it was a rumor, and rumors do be rumoring. I felt
they
like bringing
do,
that up. We got one last thing to talk about, and this might be the most fun one.
Might be.
Uh,
Interesting.
Maybe.
Okay.
Let me pull up the details here. We're
All
going
right.
to talk about our old boy.
While John pulls up the details, I just wanted to add that a decently known wrestler of ours is getting his shot at the recently re-uncovered Triple Crown Championships, all 3 belts. John, do you know who's getting his shot?
Oh, yes, actually, I do. Davey Boy.
Davey Boy Smith Jr., that big weirdo.
Yeah, he's not winning, but it'll be cool.
No.
It'll be cool. It'll be cool. Are the 3 belts permanently representing
I
the
have
Triple
no
Crown
idea what's
Championship?
up with that. I have no idea what's up with that. I just know Yuma Aoki? Aoki?
Yeah.
Recently brought back the 3 belts for whatever reason. I was like, sure.
Bro, I need to find replicas of those belts, or I'm gonna die.
Hey, John, can I just bring up something, just like a little aside note?
Yeah.
What are you and Greg's thoughts? I don't know if Greg even knows about it, but what do you guys think about the whole Beyond Wrestling turning Drew Gulak's controversy with Ronda Rousey into a storyline?
Stupid. Stupid.
That's really all you can say about it, right?
In
Because
the words of Randy Orton, stupid,
Yeah.
stupid.
Now, let me tell you something. I don't want to go into a whole big thing, but I started going to Beyond Wrestling in 2014, and it rightfully so started getting the PWG of the East Coast kind of moniker.
yeah,
I can see that.
They were booking the Young Bucks. They were booking Trevor Lee, Dijak, Ciampa, Gargano, local
It kind of
guys.
also had like the same laissez-faire like attitude to booking. It's like we just
Yeah.
put matches
Yeah.
together.
yeah,
Yeah, dude. I mean, it was just 2 wrestlers. It was awesome. Then somewhere around like 2000, I want to say 19, right after the American Rana show at the Foxwoods Resort and Casino, the guys started getting signed to AEW, and they couldn't work the indies anymore.
Yeah.
And then the owner of Beyond Wrestling kind of had to pivot and start like booking local guys, and Beyond Wrestling started Wrestling Open, which was good for a while, but then they started falling off, and yeah, they're a shell of what they used to be. But I don't think booking somebody to wrestle females who had been in a controversy with a female that lost him his job at WWE and then asking her, "Oh, you feel safe with me in the locker room, right?" And then poor Masha Slamovich, 5 days before she wins the TNA Knockouts Championship, has to go like, no, I didn't feel uncomfortable." Dude, that's a shit pile. That is a fucking joke. Whoever booked that, straight to fucking jail, dude. Seriously.
Drew booked that. They know fucking because what? Sure. Come on, nobody presented that to Drew Gulak, right?
Yeah, and I'm also somewhat just like bothered, like I don't know, maybe not bothered, but like in Masha's case, we're just like, why'd you agree to this?
Listen, here's the thing. I'm sure that she thought to herself, this ain't even that big of a deal, and it probably doesn't offend her at all.
Sure.
And honestly, it doesn't offend. It's not even that it's offensive, because I mean, you know, I'm sure
just stupid.
It's just stupid. Why? Yeah. Why? Yeah. Like, come on. Anything you could have done anything.
Let me tell you something. So, Beyond Wrestling back in like I want to say probably August booked a show at my buddy's brewery in Worcester, Mass, and they had Drew on the card. And not just saying this because you know, kind of me and Beyond Wrestling had a little bit of a falling out. I'm saying this truthfully. Like, I went with a group of my friends. A couple of them were women, and they were like, "Why is he?" They were like, "Why is he on this card? What is he doing here? Why is he being booked?" Like, he literally, like 2 weeks ago, just got fired from WWE for an incident. What's to say? An incident with Ronda Rousey, and it's like, you know, like, why is he here?
I think that's a bit much, right? I don't like, especially considering like the details of that, like the drawstring, and like, you know, like we know what happened. It's not like it's this vague like sexual assault, and then we don't know, like, get that shit out of here. He could have grabbed her ass, you know, like we know what happened. So I mean, I understand why, especially when he has connections, why they would try. But
it was just very awkward because it was still hot in the news, you know?
Yeah. That's why. That's what makes it so stupid. You are already fighting. You're already battling that. Why would you? Anyway,
now you've made it who you are, right? It's just ridiculous.
That's CTE talking, baby.
also, I joke that, like, you know, he didn't grab her ass, because if he did, the story would have been much fucking.
He just wouldn't have the hand.
And another thing too is that I heard a rumor that Beyond Wrestling's trying to bring back a wrestler that was arrested for some shady shit to come back. That he retired, and they want to bring him back. And it's just like, dude. And Drew, the owner of Beyond Wrestling, has just been leaning into this whole entire thing. Like,
it's a fellow Drew. That's why. It's no surprise.
Yeah,
you know what's funny? We didn't bring up that he asked Masha, like, did you ever feel unsafe in the locker room with me around? And then she says no, and he lifts her up and hits her with the driver that he got accused of driving one of the kids in NXT on their neck. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
Dante
Christ.
Yeah.
He's a fucking
dude.
Dante Chen was out
for a year. Dante Chen was out for a year. He comes back. His first match is on Level Up with Drew Gulak, and Drew Gulak gives a Michinoku driver right on his fucking head.
And you know, he thought, because that's how they did in the 2000s. He thought he was doing tough. Trust me, kid, you got this. Like, no,
John,
you could have killed him.
John, I have connections with wrestlers, and I spoke to wrestlers about this guy.
They said, "Fuck."
No, they said, dude, they said he's a psychopath. That he gets off on people fucking
That's
with
weird.
people. He gets off on people being uncomfortable. Like, one person I
Hasn't got
talked
a
to said
fetish.
that. Yeah, I know. One person said to me, and I'm not going to quote the person, but he is a wrestler. This person said to me, there's no awkwardness with him. He thrives in awkwardness. He gets off on awkwardness.
You get awkwardly beat the shit out of you. See, that's why it's cool to be from the Bronx, right? Because that's like my number 1 or 2 answer. Like, you're never too far away from getting the shit beat out of you. I promise you that. There's not many options in between how I'm gonna handle this. Like, I'm like, all right, like we're either there's either room to talk or there's not.
Just to throw it in there quickly, because you mentioned the whole like not being bothered by it. You know who else wasn't bothered? Io Sky and Kairi Sane.
Fuck, that's right, Carlito.
Oh yeah.
That was funny as fuck, though. He's playing. They didn't have an issue with it. I didn't have an issue. I didn't even know. Actually.
You didn't even notice it, did you?
No, it took me a second. Because, all right, for historical context, if you're listening to this a year from now, Carlito was on Raw. Io Sky and Kairi Sane were really mad at Adam Pearce, and they were like so mad that they were talking Japanese to him, and they left. And Carlito, his character is that he's a fucking goof. He done it to Raquel last week, where he kind of spaced out like, like he's kind of a dummy. So he walks in the room and they walk out, and he goes, "Damn, I gotta learn Chinese." And to Adam Pearce's credit, like he didn't even sell it. But you know what? Honestly, he probably didn't even hear it. It didn't even register as a thing.
Yeah.
John, did you? I don't know if you saw, but in our new Dirt Sheet Radio forums, I got into a little bit of a heated argument with one former WCW announcer, David Penzer, over this.
Oh my God.
What did he say? So he came out and said, "I don't see a problem with this," and I said, well, I don't think it's that big of a problem. I think it's just a little distasteful. And I said, and if it had happened to somebody if it happened to somebody that was black, and they said, "Oh, I have to learn to speak jive," I said the whole entire fucking internet would be going crazy. And he goes, "Well, my sister is half Asian, and people confuse her for Chinese all the time." And I go, "Well, in the person Carlito, he knows that they're Japanese." And he goes, "Well, then it's a character thing." And I was like, "You know what, Dave? I'm done with this." And then I looked on the forum, and people had just continued it. It was like 50 more messages. I was like, "Oh, I dropped out like 2 hours ago, but this shit kept going." And Penzer's like, and one guy was like, "Just because you know an Asian person," and then Pender goes, "It's my sister. You watch your goddamn mouth." I'm like, "All right, I'm out of this."
It's it's just one of those things. I mean, you can't really police who's offended by it, but you can at least observe how many people are offended by it, the kind of people that are offended by it,
specifically why they are offended by it.
Yeah, that all can inform how you feel about it. Ultimately, Io didn't care and Kairi didn't care, and those are the two people that matter the most. So if they didn't care, I feel comfortable not caring as well. I thought it was
like
funny.
when you take the Penzer situation, it's just like, oh, this is clearly very personal. There's no reasoning with this.
Well, let me say, shout out to Dave Penzer. I love his work. I love WCW. Got no problem, no beef here, Dave.
It's too
no
late.
beef whatsoever.
It's already too late.
Yeah,
He's already
he's already doxing me right now.
Nice. Did you get your details, John? We gave you ample time.
I have them right here.
Let's get it.
So, last thing we're going to talk about tonight, Vince McMahon is preparing to launch a new entertainment company.
Ah, yes.
And he's got several WWE executives already working on the project with him. Not current WWE executives, former executives. All right. So Vince McMahon is working on setting up a post-WWE company. PWInsider reported. Multiple sources with knowledge of the situation have confirmed McMahon has been in the process of setting up what has been described as a new quote-unquote entertainment hub company that would financially back, develop, produce film and television productions. The belief among those they've spoken to is that there are no plans for the company to launch anything similar to WWE, and they want to focus on fiction and non-fiction programs. But that does not rule out the possibility of Vince financing professional wrestling.
I hope this fails.
The people in the television industry believe that it is a porn company, which honestly wouldn't be too surprising.
It wouldn't.
Way to lean into it, Vince. Shit.
To tell you the truth, it has probably the highest margin of success.
Yeah.
I imagine he would be much more successful opening a porn company than trying to be like the next Hollywood Harvey Weinstein. You know, like
shit on her head. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh God. But yeah, that came out 2 days ago. There was a response from Janelle Grant and her lawyer. Essentially, that went how you thought it, how you figure it would go. They were just like, "This is disgusting," you know. This is his boldness. This kind of is an example of the Vince McMahon that we're trying to describe to you. His tone deaf. You know who he is. He's planning on opening this if and when his law issues fall to the wayside. It's going to be based out of Los Angeles. I don't believe that the issues are going to go away the way he thinks. Excuse me. The way he thinks that they will. But
yeah,
that's all the details that we have right now. So far, Kevin Dunn is not involved, by the way.
Dude, listen, this shit isn't going away anytime soon. Anytime Vince McMahon makes like a move, like Janelle Grant's team's like putting out a statement. So anything he does, this is going to follow him. They're going to keep putting out statements saying that, you know, he's a piece that he doesn't deserve to be back in the spotlight. He's a monster. So, I mean, is that going to stop people from getting involved with Vince McMahon? I mean, I don't know. You have some shady people out, especially out in Hollywood and Los Angeles, but I don't know, man. I just hope it fucking fails. Like, if the shit that Janelle Grant and other women are saying that he did to them, I hope this fails.
He's going to jail.
I hope it fails spectacularly.
He's going to jail, bro. That man is going under the jail. The feds are still looking into him, aren't they?
Yeah.
He's cooked. He ain't going no fucking where.
I'm gonna have to get my hands on one of those Vince McMahon T-shirts of him holding the jail numbers from when he got arrested in Brooklyn.
Shit, that's right. I forgot that was an image. That's what I was using the meme the day he went to jail.
Yep.
No, he didn't go to jail. But yeah, man, that's Vince that doing what he does. Did you guys have any thoughts on Vince's new porn company? I mean, entertainment company?
Yeah.
Oh shit. What about you, Greg? Huh?
Did we lose
He passed away.
Greg, no audio.
I don't know. I don't know what I would actually think about that, other than like, I guess just the insanity of it. Like, Jesus, man, this does not help your case in the slightest. Yeah, I don't know. That's it's almost too crazy to be true, but maybe that's exactly why it would be.
I think Jesus said can't wait to see John Cena there. A lot of people get mad at the people who defend Vince. I can't get mad at him. I personally wouldn't do it publicly, but I also am not like, how dare you? How dare you defend the man that gave you all of your wildest wishes?
Yeah.
Vince McMahon was never going to go quietly into the night. I think we all knew this. He
can't even sit down for like an hour.
This is a guy that doesn't like sneezing because he doesn't have control over his body for 3 seconds.
You
know?
He'll be working one way or another. So we'll see.
Working we'll all see of us.
Yeah, essentially. But man, that's us. That's Dershi Radio. Hit 2 hours like we try. But that's not all, man. Dershi Radio is always on. We're literally always on. We have daily podcasts. And actually, yeah, I should start. Give me a second. I should start hitting us with our music. Well, we
outro it, baby.
Get an outro. Dershi Radio is on 5 to 6 to 7 days of the week. We're on after Monday Night Raw for a post-show rewind. We're on after NXT on Tuesday. We're on after AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. Impact on Thursday nights. If you joined us, then you know Dershi Radio's flagship newscast is on Thursday mornings, every single Thursday morning. And then Fridays, SmackDown post-show rewind. But you also got Sundays. CJ and Tyler with their weekend wrestling roundup with the W. They'll get a new graphic as soon as they get back on the schedule. We miss you, CJ. And then every Sunday we get 3 NT Wrestling podcasts with the boys talking about wrestling every Sunday. And of course, this weekend, November 2nd, WWE Crown Jewel from Saudi Arabia. Awkwardly placed in the middle of your afternoon so that you can enjoy the rest of your evening or your Halloween weekend.
Did you say this was your wife?
This? Yes.
That's fucking
This is
awesome.
my wife.
Link me to that when we get off, John. I want to hear some of it.
No problem. For those who are also wondering, this is Doubt from the Lore of the Fighter series by Saskia Creations. One word on YouTube. So go check that out. It's hard to see here because it's got the Halloween font, but Saskia Creations, one word on YouTube. Lore of the Fighter, Doubt. Excellent song. Very glad to have got it for us. Not have to worry about it. Can do whatever we want with it, and she can make more. She's still there. So good. But yeah, man, Dershi Radio, we're always on. Greg Mac, you can catch him on Instagram, Curbside Hero. Me and Mac, we'll see you on Friday for the SmackDown Rewind.
Oh, yes, you will.
Greg, we'll see you next week, but I'll see you every day because I love you. And then thank you all for joining us, you beautiful, beautiful fucking people. And you have